I'm going to talk to you today about raising your first round of money to start a business and the two biggest mistakes that founders make. So unless you've saved a whole bunch of cash or you've managed to convince a team of people to work for nothing, you're going to need to raise money to start a tech startup, a technology business. So unlike a cafe or a consulting company that could potentially run on cash flow, software companies don't make profit for at least a few years. So the first round of money is called a pre-seed, and you're typically raising money on an idea with some momentum before you've built your product. And we're looking at around 100 to 300K depending on the complexity of your product and the team that you've got around you. And it should give you a 12 to 18 month runway. So runway is the time that the money is going to last you, and you want it to be 12 to 18 months so you've got some time to figure it out. At this stage, so at the pre-seed, you're still in really early days. You don't have a product yet, and really you're raising money on an idea with some validation. Unfortunately, ideas are worth very little, and execution is everything. So if an investor is investing in you, they're really investing in you as a founder. They're investing in your tenacity, your resourcefulness, and your willingness to work really hard for the next 5 to 7 years, and maybe even longer, depending on how long it takes to return on their investment. The one mistake that founders make, or the first mistake that founders make, is asking the wrong people. Ironically, people go to VCs, so venture capitalists, they go to angel investor networks, and those people, they don't know you at all. They're actually complete strangers. And even if you get a referral into one of those, it can take them a good 6 months to just get to know you. In addition, at such an early stage, when you're talking pre-product, they see that as a really high-risk investment. And what that means is that they end up giving you either a really low valuation, or they take a huge chunk of equity in your business. And neither of those two things are good for a really early stage startup. The best people to ask are actually people in your personal networks. So people that know you, people that you've worked with. It could be your friends, your family, your colleagues, your ex-colleagues, and actually people that they know. So they end up referring you onto someone else that they know that could be interested. And those second degree and third degree networks are really powerful. If you haven't spoken to someone for a really long time, don't be afraid to reach out to them. If anything, they will be probably very interested in what you're doing, something really exciting. They could even become a customer, or you could be really pleasantly surprised about them making an investment in you. That person who's investing in your startup should have 50K that they're willing to lose, or at least not see for a very long time. Startup investments are high risk, high return, so it should be a small part of someone's investment portfolio. Don't be taking the last of anyone's savings. So the second biggest mistake that founders make is actually thinking about an investment as asking for a favor. People are really shy about going out to their personal networks, and the reason for that is they've got in their minds that asking for an investment is actually asking for a favor. And naturally, asking for a favor is a really awkward thing to do. It's something that no one really likes to do. So instead of thinking about it as a favor, we need to think about it as an opportunity. There are very few people who know someone that's working on something really exciting, and even fewer people that get an opportunity to invest in something exciting at such an early stage. And when you say, I want you to invest in my startup to someone, you're actually saying to them, I want to give you a huge opportunity to get in early on something that's going to be big. And secondly, I want you to go on this incredible journey with me, and it's going to be a long journey. So those two things are actually incredibly meaningful. When I was raising money for the first time, I was actually really afraid of asking people in my personal networks or taking their money. And it wasn't until a mentor said to me, the feeling of turning 50K into 500K for someone that is super close to you is actually one of the best feelings you'll ever have. And knowing that they are investing their hard-earned money into your startup means that you're going to keep pushing, and you're not going to give up, and you're really not going to look back. So that's a good thing. So don't be afraid to do that. Just to throw it out there, very first investors have made an over 10,000 times return on their investment. So if they had invested $50,000, they're now sitting on over $500 million worth of shares. And that is definitely an opportunity. It's not a favor. So get out there, raise your first round of money by giving your personal networks an opportunity to invest in your startup.